Welcome to Focus Today. I'm your host, Perry Atkinson, and it is a delight to have in the studio Mr. Tim Elbert, better known as the Timinator. He heads up Four Seasons Nursery, and, well, we're here to take all your questions today about what's going on in the yard. And he's brought with him a beautiful calla lily. Man, that thing is hot pink pretty.
Yeah, the calla lilies are fantastic plants, and the colored ones are just fantastic. They come in several different colors. So we don't only have white and hot pink, but we also have orange and yellow and lighter pink and purple, and so they're fantastic. And nice thing, we always think of calla lilies as growing in shade, but these guys will actually grow fantastic in the sun.
Oh.
So yeah, you can do these colored ones grow fantastic in full hot sun.
All right, we have a purple one in the foyer out there. So
yeah,
we're going to give this away. Yeah, so as you call in today with your questions to Tim about what's going on in your yard or anything you have to do with fertilizing, planting, transplanting, trimming, spraying, whatever, he's the man. He heads up Four Seasons Nursery out there on Crater Lake Highway, and they're open from 9 o'clock in the morning till whenever they want to quit in the afternoon.
So I can't walk anymore.
Anyway, 7 days a week. And here's the number, 541-776-5770. 541-776-5770. Now, that's a special number to the studio to get you in to talk to Tim. 541-776-5770. And going to be, we're getting a little cooler weather. I mean, we're not into the hot stuff yet.
Yeah, I think March has arrived.
Is that what it is? It came back around,
It just kind of came back, yes.
But it was kind of cool out there, but some rain and, we're enjoying it. We need it, but...
We do, yes. And, it's actually perfect weather for working in the yard. It's not so hot that you're killing yourself in the heat trying to get things done. And the plants respond so well to the clean air and the coolness, so getting things planted right now is fantastic timing.
All right. So here you go. Ask a question to Tim, 541-776-5770, and your name's going in the hat. And at the end of the program, we'll pull it out, a name out, could be yours, and you'll win this beautiful hot pink calla lily. All right, let's go to Midge. Hi, Midge. Thanks for waiting. Good morning. What's going on in your yard, or not?
Good morning.
Go ahead. Hi, Midge.
Hi. I'm a delphinium. I get about 2 to 3 foot tall blooms on it. Then what do I do with it when it dies? When the flower dies back, what am I supposed to do with it to make more come up?
Well, of course, trim that stalk back, and even if you cut it back and there's no leaves left, delphiniums will come back from the roots and send up more branches and produce more flowers. So don't hesitate to cut it back.
Cut it down to the ground or cut it to the bottom of the dead flower?
Try cutting it down to the bottom of the dead flower and see if that doesn't get it to flush out. If it doesn't, after a couple of weeks, then trim back a little further and see what happens.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You guys.
Thank you, Mitch. Okay. All right. Again, 776-5770. Get your name in the hat for this beautiful hot pink calla lily. And Sue, what's going on with your plants? Sue?
I bought a heliothorpe out there a couple weeks ago, and I didn't find out about fertilizing it, and I wonder what kind of fertilizer I need for it.
Okay. You've got it in a container?
Yes.
All right. The container fertilizer we use is put out by Fertilome, and it's a 20-20-20. It's called Geranium Hanging Basket and Pansy Food. But if you just come in and ask for that fertilizer for stuff in pots, we'll know exactly what you're talking about. But it's a liquid fertilizer. You mix with water and water your plants with that, and it will keep them going through the summer.
Okay. You there, Sue? Okay, guess we lost her. All right.
All right.
All right, 776-5770. So, hey, I do have a question for you before we take the next question. Cool weather. We're not quite in the 80s. We're in the 70s. Okay for the lawn food that has a little weed killer in it?
Yeah, as long as we're in the 70s or up, we're okay. So yes, you can do that. My preference is waiting for it to get a little bit warmer. So if you can hold off a little bit, that's probably better. The other thing is the weed and feeds have to stick to the leaves of the weeds in order for them to be effective. So if it looks like we're going to have rain, don't put it on. You got to put it on when the grass is wet, but then you need 24 hours of dry time for it to stick to those leaves. And then after that you can water again, or it can rain again.
Is that part of your recommend program?
Yeah, that's actually our April-May application. So we're just finishing that up and getting ready for the June-July application.
All right, let's go back to the phones. Hi, Beth. What's going on with the hydrangea?
I have about 5 of them, of which only one blooms. Everybody else doesn't bloom, and they're all kind of treated the same way.
I missed the name of the plant.
Hydrangea.
Oh, hydrangea. And one of them doesn't bloom?
All 4 of them don't bloom, or only one blooms.
Oh, only one blooms. Okay. Wow.
Are you singing to them?
Probably talking under my breath.
No, those words don't count.
Well, you know, hydrangeas are kind of one of those crazy plants. The older varieties, sometimes it's difficult to get them to bloom a second time, especially if you're doing any pruning. Have you been pruning them back a lot?
I tried both ways. I tried leaving them alone for a year. I tried pruning them, and I have one that just doesn't want to do anything. I mean, it's like so, and it's in a nice place. I mean, it's actually in a corner where it gets some sun and some shade. The other one that actually blooms is kind of in the front of the house. It's more shaded, and it blooms. It has lots of blooms on it.
Yeah, so I would suggest then getting some fertilizer in there, probably something a little higher in phosphorus. So that's the middle number on your fertilizer. I would say like we do a bedding plant food that's a 7-22-8. That would be a really good one. You can do that. If you want to go with an organic, I believe the Plant Tone is a good one for that. And try that out and see if you can't get it to really flush out and do some blooming for you.
Okay. I have one more question. Sure. I have something, I don't know what it is. It started in the front of my house, and I have like a raised bed, and it's gone underneath the ground, underneath the sidewalk, to the other side of the house, all the way around the house. Then it went on the other side of the front of the lawn, and it's in the back of my yard. I don't know if it's a vole or mole, but I tried putting a hose down it, you know, and that obviously didn't kill him. The guy must have a tunnel, like, I don't know, it's all over my front yard where he's been, and in my backyard now.
Yes, yeah, those guys can be pretty voracious, and if you were to come over to my house, you would probably say, "Oh, I don't have that bad of a problem."
Oh, really?
So yeah, I've got a bad problem, but mine is called neglect. I've not been doing what I should be doing, and what really works very well is a product called Molgo, and it is a castor bean oil product, and you can get it in a liquid form that works very quickly but doesn't last a very long time, or you can get it in a granular form that takes a little longer to take effect, but when it does, it lasts longer. And I usually use the granular form. I put it down over my whole yard, and it keeps the moles and gophers away for about 3 months, and then I have to put it back on again. I haven't put it on in about a year, and let's say I was doing some experimenting. How's that? Not really. I just haven't gotten out into my yard. Yeah. So anyways, I didn't have a lot of damage over the winter in my yard, but they're starting to really cause some problems now. So I think that's a job for my son to do today.
So, Molgo.
You have to find the hole and put it in there? Or what do you do?
You sprinkle it down like fertilizer. and then just water it in. And a nice rainy day is perfect for that. So get it out there and let the rain take it in, let your sprinklers take it in, and it will drive them away. So they won't like it, and it's safe for pets too. So you can put it down when you've got pets, and it's not going to bother them a bit.
So you can buy that in a pretty big. Well, you'd have to buy it in a pretty big quantity then, huh?
You know, I think a bag will treat, if I'm not mistaken, about 5,000 square feet, and it's fairly inexpensive. So it's a pretty economical way to go.
So you can just buy that like anywhere?
There's a great little nursery called Four Seasons,
Okay.
and they have it at a great price.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're funny.
Thanks, Beth.
All right, thank you.
Okay,
You're welcome.
bye-bye. All right, 776-5770, a little self-plugging here. Let me see if I can squeeze in one more before we take a break. Hi, Candy, you're going to move some plants?
Yes, I have some peonies that I brought home from Klamath Falls that were my mom's, and she had to move, and I didn't know where to put them, so I just kind of stuck them here and there. And now they're getting pretty big and probably going to be too big eventually where they are, and I was wondering when is a good time to be able to dig those up and move them.
Well, you really want them to be dormant when you move them, so I would wait until fall. Even if they get a little big this year, you can cut them back or something, but better to dig them in the fall, late fall, November-ish. Yeah.
Okay, so cut them down quite a bit and then just dig them up and put them someplace new.
Yeah.
Okay, because they're loaded with blooms right now. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. All right, let me take a break. Again, the number is 776-5770. Tim Elbert's in the house. When you call in, your name's going in the hat. Somebody's going to win this beautiful hot pink calla lily, and it'll just be a real charmer in your yard. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paulina, and I work at theDove TV. Did you know that when you support theDove TV, you have a profound impact, not only in our community, but around the world? It's your continued support that takes the inspiration and hope in the programs we produce and makes them available to the thousands of people who are watching these videos online every week. Help bring encouragement and hope to our valley and beyond by making a secure online donation today at our website, thedove.us.
Okay, we're back with Tim Elbert, Four Seasons Nursery, and again, if you have any questions, you give us a call, 541-776-5770. That's a special number to the studio, 776-5770. And when you call in, ask a question, your name's going in the hat. Somebody's going to win this beautiful calla lily, and takes all kinds of sunshade, and it'll go for it. How long will this thing bloom?
This thing will bloom all summer.
Really?
Yeah.
And what happens at the end of the summer?
Then the foliage will die off, and it'll die clear to the ground.
Okay.
And you just trim it off at the ground, and then
Leave it alone,
next spring it comes right back. Yeah.
Okay. And you can take it out of the pot and plant it in the ground now?
Yes, you can put it in the ground now. Or you can put it in a pot.
Okay.
It makes a nice big plant for a pot. Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go back to the phones. And again, if you have any questions for Tim, 776-5770. Hi, is it Dan? Hi, Dan. What's going on with your banana plant?
Good morning. Hey, my golly, yeah, I got a banana plant for my cousin, and it wintered over okay, but it was in the house, and now I want to put it outside because it's getting to be about almost 3 feet tall, and I want to know how big a pot can I put it in, because I'm afraid if I put it in the ground, it still has another season to go before it bears fruit, and then what kind of fertilizer should I use on it?
Okay. Well, as large of a container as you can manage, the bananas will grow very fast and get quite large very quickly. So a nice size pot, the biggest pot you can manage, it would be best for that, and you'll get a lot more out of it. As far as fertilizer goes, if you want to, you can use the Fertilome Geranium Hanging Basket and Pansy Food. That's what we use on all of our container stuff. That works very, very well. Or if you wanted to go with a granular or an organic, you could use the Espoma Garden Tone, and that's another really good one that would be an organic option for you.
So how often should I fertilize it too? Because the thing grows like a weed.
Well, with the geranium hanging basket and pansy food, you got to feed it once a week. And you'll have your best results with that. It'll grow a lot faster. It'll grow a lot bigger with that. If you use the espoma, you don't have to feed as often, but expect the results to be a little slower as well. It'll maintain and it'll grow fine, but organics are definitely a little slower acting, but they do last a lot longer. You don't have to do as much work.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, 776-5770 is the number if you want to talk to Tim Elbert, Four Seasons Nursery. And if you've never been out there, well, you're missing it. You just go out Highway 62, hop off on Vilas Road, go up about a half mile. You'll see it off to the right there, all the beautiful flowers and plants and hanging baskets. Open from 9 to
6, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5 on Sunday.
Okay, and it's great. Color galore out there, and whether you win this calla lily or not, they have them out there. A bunch of colors. All right, hi Nancy. You want to prune something?
Well, yes, I do. I need to know when you prune your Daphne odora.
Okay.
A year ago we had a freeze and everything froze back and it didn't do very well, but this year it was just loaded with blooms, and now it's huge, and so I need to know when to prune it back.
I suggest that you wait until the new growth kind of hardens off, which usually happens right around the 1st to middle of June. And at that point, you can do any kind of pruning on it that you want to do. But that's the safest time.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Alrighty.
All right, have a good day. Thanks, Nancy. All right, 776-5770 is the number, and good weekend to put some stuff down on the lawn, move some stuff around. We are having a little bit of delay of the really warm spring weather, but give it another couple of weeks. It should be okay.
Yeah.
This isn't real bad.
Yeah, and again, I think in reality, it's really good planting weather. Mm-hmm. It's better on the plants when it's cooler, maybe a little more moisture in the air. So it's maybe not as fun, but it certainly is better on the plants. So.
Well, I also got to tell you that those of you who put the magic formula on your roses, I'm sure you are enjoying some beautiful blossoms. Peggy's roses are just spectacular. I mean, all around the house, they just went, and they're growing, and the color and the foliage, everything is spectacular. So.
Yes, and in my neglected yard, I've got a few roses starting to come on.
Did you put the formula down?
No.
Well, yours won't be as pretty as Peggy's.
They're definitely not, I can tell you that.
Yeah, and if those of you who did buy the formula and your roses are coming on, you may want to give us a call and let us know,
Yes.
But the Mr. Lincoln, the yellow, she had a white one bloom this year that is spectacular. I don't know all the names. She knows all the names, but literally, they are absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Larry.
Yes.
What's going on with your aphids?
Well, good morning, gentlemen. Yeah, I used some of that miracle toxin from Tim's Four Seasons, and the roses are just doing fabulous, except the aphids, and they're just all over them. What do I do?
I finally got a few roses on my rose bushes, and I went out and pruned a few to bring in for into a vase inside, and I noticed those little aphids starting to get on mine too. So this is what I do. There's several different things you can do. I use a product called 2-in-1, and it's a systemic that will control the bugs and will control fungus as well. And you can pour it around the base of the plant, and it travels systemically up through the plant and takes care of that problem. So that's one way to do it. If you want to do it more naturally, ladybugs are fantastic, and I had a really bad outbreak on my roses one year, and I went out and put some ladybugs out through my rose garden, and within 2 weeks I didn't have an aphid left. So they do a fantastic job.
Excellent. Well, thank you.
All right.
You probably had the fattest ladybugs in the country, right? I mean, they're so big they can't fly. I forget. You got a ladybug the size of a beetle? What do you got?
Yes, definitely. But we don't call them fat ladybugs.
Overeating ladybugs, okay. But I didn't know. I mean, are they that? They just gobble them up?
They do. Of course, that's what they eat is other insects, and they love aphids. The nice thing with ladybugs is that they will lay eggs, and the eggs will hatch, and the larvae from the ladybug will eat 10 times what the adult ladybugs eat. And so it's pretty fantastic. If you got a really bad infestation of aphids, then they'll lay eggs, and that's what you want. And even if the adults fly away, the larvae will hatch out, and they'll start in, and they do a fantastic job.
So how many ladybugs would you get? I mean,
we sell them in a bag. There's 1,500 in a bag for $7.99.
1,500 ladybugs in a bag?
Yep. Yeah.
And you just put them in?
Now you know what I do at night is to count ladybugs and bag them. 1, 2.
Hello, Patrick Doyle. I'm sending you Tim. Tim needs to come over and talk to you. Okay, let's go to Melody. Hi, what's going on? Are you there, Melody? Melody. There you are. Melody? Nope. We got a little bit of a problem. Sorry about that. If you'll try again, we'll get you on right away. 776-5770 is the number. If you have any questions for Tim, your name will go on the hat for this beautiful calla lily. This is a hot pink one, and it is gorgeous. And they don't have any fragrance, but they do. How tall will I get now?
Well, the colored ones don't get as tall as the white ones. They get huge, 3-4 feet. These guys will stay about 2 feet tall, but they make a fantastic cut flower. So you can cut them, bring them in a vase. They're fantastic. They make a great addition to a container garden. So you can put those in with some other flowers around them, and they're just fantastic that way.
All right. Hi, Sheila. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay. What's going on? What can we help you
Well, I just have a few grape hyacinths in my gardens, and they've just multiplied, and I've got these big white masses of bulbs sitting on the top of the ground now. Do I have to dig those out and like separate them and replant them, or?
Do you have to? No. Should you? Yeah. I don't know.
Okay. It would be a good idea.
Do you want more of them? Because if you do, then yeah, dig them up, and separate them, and replant them. If you don't want more of them, dig them up and throw them away.
Okay.
But yeah, they produce new bulbs all the time, and they can be quite prolific. So if they're sitting on top of the soil, it's not going to hurt them a bit. It's just a matter of your own preference.
Okay, and then I've got a lawn problem, and we've got 2 big Leland cypress, and it's just under where the Leland cypress are, where their shade and their, I don't know what you call them, needles fall.
Yeah.
It just doesn't want to grow well there. Is it changing the pH of the soil, or is there something specific we should put on that part of the lawn that would help it stay green? And
well, likely anything you try is going to not result in a fantastic lawn. 3 things you have going on there. First of all, as you mentioned, yes, it is changing the pH and probably dropping that pH, making it very acidic, making it difficult for the lawn. Second of all, the root system of those trees are getting into the lawn and taking out nutrients and moisture away from the lawn, so the lawn's not getting everything it needs. And thirdly, the shade there is causing problems as well, keeping the lawn weak and unable to compete with the tree. So there's 3 answers to your question, and that is the tree, and the tree. So
cut down the tree?
It's going to be the issue of, do I save the tree or do I save the lawn? And in most cases, the lawn is what ends up being the thing that goes away. So it's just up to you. You know, the lawn, either the lawn is not going to fit there, or you need to remove the tree in order to get the lawn to grow back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Is there anything fertilizer that would
change the pH and help the grass as far as?
Yeah, you can use some lime. You can put some lime down. That will sweeten that soil up a little bit and help out. Add a little fertilizer, keep an extra amount of water on that area, and that will certainly help, but probably will not solve that problem.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you.
All righty.
Okay, thanks, Sheila. All right, we'll take a quick break. If you got any questions for Tim, give us a call, 541-776-5770, and get your name in the hat for this beautiful calla lily, It's a hot pink one, and be beautiful in your yard all summer long, especially in a pot somewhere. So give us a call, 541-776-5770. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Paula, and I work at theDove TV. Every day we get letters and emails from people who've been encouraged, blessed, and challenged by the programs on theDove TV. But we couldn't do it without you. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to bring inspiration and hope to our community by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or call us at 541-776-5368.
Okay, we're back with Tim Elbert from the Four Seasons Nursery. What a great place. If you've never been out there, let me tell you, you're in for a real treat when you walk through that gate and all the flowers and everything. Of course, nurseries have their own charm, but this one's really over the top. Today, Tim has brought with him a calla lily, and this is a gorgeous plant that's going to be given away here shortly. And this one happens to be the hot pink. We have the hot purple in our foyer, but these things are really gorgeous. Anyway, when you call in with your question, your name's going in the hat, and the number is 541-776-5770. 541-776-5770. Okay, Al, you've been very patient. What's going on?
Okay, that calla lily is a problem to me here at home. We've planted several of them in a raised bed across the front of our place, and they come up. They get about a foot, maybe 18 inches tall. They have one lousy little flower on them, which doesn't last very long, and I'm wondering what the problem is. This is probably the finest soil in the Rogue Valley. It's my compost is put in there in 4-inch layers every year and stirred in, and it's very rich and good soil. What's the problem?
So you're adding 4 inches of soil every year?
Yeah.
That might be part of the problem. They're having to go through an extra 4 inches of soil every year in order to reach the sun. So careful with putting extra soil in there, and that might be part of the problem. The other issue would be maybe needing a source of phosphorus. Calla lilies do like some extra phosphorus. So add some bone meal, mix that into the soil, and maybe give it a year or two off with from adding extra soil in there and see how that goes.
Well, I pull the bulbs up and replant them after I add that soil, so they're at the proper depth.
Okay.
The depth is not the issue.
So the bulbs, are they? What size are the bulbs?
Oh, they range anywhere from 1.5 inches to probably 2.5 inches.
Okay. Yeah, they need to be up there, up over 2 inches in order for bloom. So it sounds like you've got some that are in pretty good shape as far as bloom size goes. So just add some extra bone meal in there, and that should help.
Sounds good. Okay, I got one other question quick. I have a yellow twig dogwood, or spirea, I beg your pardon. Yellow twig spirea, which I planted in the wrong place, not realizing that these things are unbelievable in growth. Is it possible to transplant that thing with the root system that they have in them?
Yeah, it is possible. Now, I think you're actually thinking of yellow twig dogwood. Yellow twig dogwood is a shrubby plant with bright golden yellow stems in the wintertime.
That's the one.
Yeah, so it is. I'm sure it's a yellow twig dogwood. They're actually very, very easy to transplant. And if you needed to do it even now, you could successfully do it by trimming it back, at least halfway, dig it and move it, and it should recover from that just fine. They're very easy to move.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay,
You're
thanks,
welcome.
Al. All right, the number is 776-5770. That's a special number right to the studio here. And whether you're listening along the coast, Northern California, throughout Southern Oregon, over in the central high desert, give us a buzz, 541-776-5770. And if you win this plant and you live outside the area, we'll mail it to you. No, we'll work something out. Tim will actually bicycle it to your house. All right. Hi, June. Thanks for waiting. What's going on?
Hi. I'm calling because I planted a new perennial rye lawn a couple years ago, and it's been doing beautifully, and I love it. But last year, some other kind of grass started coming up, and it's just getting worse and worse. It's just in the section that didn't start well, and it has a single blade that has a lot of little fuzzy tops, something I assume it turns into seed. And I wanted to know if you can tell me what it is and how do I stop it. This is something that seems to be taking over in everybody's yard and driveway and everywhere it lands.
Well, without actually seeing it, I'm going to have a difficult time identifying it. But there are a few different types of grassy type weeds that come up and can cause problems. It sounds like what you're describing is called annual bluegrass or Poa annua, and it is a little pain to get rid of because it looks just like the lawn until it starts to go to seed. Mm-hmm. And so you don't know that you have a problem until it starts to go to seed. The little white seed heads drop hundreds of little seeds, and all of those seeds germinate and grow, and you've got more problems. The life cycle, being an annual, it comes up, it goes to seed, and then it dies. And so by the time you see it, you try to get rid of it, it's already going to die anyway. So the way to get it under control is to control the seed. Use a pre-emergent like Dimension and sprinkle that out in the area. And you have to do this on a regular basis because you'll kill off some of the seed, but some of those plants are still up and growing and you don't even know it.
Right.
So get that down about every 3 months, and it takes a couple of years, but you will get it under control. Just have to be consistent and make sure you're up on it.
So it would be done literally quarterly, regardless of the weather?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Thanks for your help.
Thanks, June. Okay, let's, again, 541-776-5770. Get your name in the hat. Could win this beautiful calla lily. Hi, Ellen. You want to transplant something?
I do. I received some curly willow in a bouquet for Mother's Day, and it's actually blooming. And I was wondering, sending out green shoots, if I could transplant that outside and get a curly willow tree started.
Absolutely, you can.
Okay.
I don't know if I recommend it, but...
And why is that?
Are you on a septic system?
Yes, I am.
Whoa. Yeah, keep it far from that. The curly willows get absolutely huge. They get 40, 60 feet tall and spread just as wide. They're extremely fast growing. I've seen them put on 10 feet in 1 year. They have an aggressive root system, and they tend to be a bit on the brittle side. So as they get older, you'll get large limbs breaking and falling. Yes, you can get them to grow, and they're a fantastic little tree, but they're not without their problems, so keep that in mind. If you have a small yard, you don't want to put one in. If you've got a large area, then go for it, but just make sure that you understand what it's going to do.
Are they a large water consumer?
They are, yes.
Okay, and what about if I wanted to put them like in a half barrel?
You could keep them in a half barrel for a short time.
Just a short time. Okay. All right. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
I've never seen anything destroy a sewer system like a willow tree.
Oh yes, yeah, they're pretty something else.
Yeah, just don't go there. You don't even want to get close.
Yeah.
And then taking them out is even tougher.
Oh yeah,
because the shoots come up and
yep.
They're not good. All right, hi Summer, what's going on?
Hi, I have a tree peony that I bought, and it had 2 blooms on it that were beautiful, and they died, of course. And I don't know where to cut it off, and the whole thing looks like it's dying now. And I don't know if they said it needs to be in full sun, but I think maybe, I don't know. It's in a pot on my deck.
Okay. Well, as far as deadheading goes, just prune the flower stem back to the first leaf. So you don't want to prune very much of it off. And why it could be looking that way, I don't know without seeing it. But there are funguses that get into those that can be a real problem. And so a systemic fungicide may be what you need to save its life. So I would say, bring us a picture or some samples, and let's see what's going on with it to know for sure. But they are great in sunny locations. In the heat of our summer, they tend to get a little burned. So my suggestion is morning sun and late afternoon shade.
Okay. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. All right, well, thank you, and I'll get a picture over to you.
Okay, great.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, the phone number, and for the last segment, for you to get a call in, get your name in the hat for this beautiful calla lily. This is a hot pink one. Is 541-776-5770. 541-776-5770. And if you haven't been to the Four Seasons Nursery, that's okay. Everybody else has, and they'll just buy what you were going to look at. No, go on out Highway 62, get off on Violet Road, go up about a half mile. You can't miss it. It's right there on the right. Open from 9 to 6 Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5 on Sunday. We'll be right back with Tim Elbert.
Hi, I'm Daniel, and I work at theDove TV. You know, compared to Portland, Seattle, and LA, Medford might be considered a small market. But at theDove, we're excited about the opportunity to make a big impact right here in our community. And you help make that happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us now by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us, or by phoning 541-776-5368.
Okay, we're back with Tim Elbert from the Four Seasons Nursery. If you got any questions about what to do and not to do in the yard, this is a chance for you to get a question in so you don't have to stand in line with the 300 people in front of you out at the nursery. But anyway, before we take the calls, color, besides the calla lilies, what else you got out there? You got any of the baskets left?
Yes, actually, we do have some 12-inch baskets left, and we are frantically working to build more. So as every week we throw some more together, so we'll have some in the weeks to come. So if you're looking for larger baskets, we will have some of those available pretty soon. Okay. Yeah.
But a lot of other color out there.
Lots of other color. One other thing, I was passing by when I was looking for something to bring today is the Alstroemeria. And I would have brought one of those, but I don't have very many left. So, but the Alstroemeria are blooming right now, and they are absolutely stunning. They are a beautiful flower that comes back year after year, will handle quite a bit of sun, and they make great cut flowers. So you can look up Alstroemeria, or Princess Lily is the other name for it. So.
All right, let's go back to the phones, 541-776-5770. Peggy, hi, what's going on with your dahlias?
Hi, I planted last year for the first time bulbs, and they bloomed just gorgeous. And I dug them up and stored them in the winter and replanted them. Some of them made it, some of them didn't. And talking to some of my coworkers, they were saying that they've left their dahlias in the pots all winter. And I was just wondering, are my odds just as good to leave them and hope they make it, or should I keep digging them up every year?
With the winter that we had this last winter, leaving them in the pots is a great idea. the winter before last, not a good idea. So it really depends on how severe our winter is. Now, a lot of people will leave them in the pots, and then if it gets really cold, they'll bring the pots in and store them in the garden shed or the garage, for the duration. Yeah, you can go either way. Digging them and storing them, you want to make sure that they're in a loose, dry soil mix or peat moss, and dark. So we take a cardboard box, put them in there with some peat moss, poke a few holes in the box so that it doesn't build up moisture inside there and start to mold. And they last pretty good that way. And then make sure you get them out early enough and planted so that they can take off and get going for you.
The other thing I noticed, I have some planted in the front of the house that are on the west side, and then the ones that are in the back and the east side. I have some big trees from the neighbors. Those don't seem to be doing as well. Is there anything I can do to help them along, or
move them?
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Dahlias have to have a lot of sun, so they got to have sun all day long. They need to be in an area where they don't have competition from other plants. So get them in a garden by themselves, together, and they'll do much better. Add a little extra bone meal to the soil so they can build up bigger tubers, and away you go.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks, Peggy. All right, again, 7765770. Hey, Ron, what's going on with your fig tree?
Well, something is chewing the figs off.
Oh,
and I don't know what it is.
That's a bear or a raccoon.
What's that? Bear or raccoon, huh? Well, I don't know.
It could be a neighbor, too.
Nancy says that there's like teeth marks on them, and you pick one up out in the yard, I guess.
Oh, raccoon.
And just chewing them off.
Yeah, that very, very well could be raccoon. You might go out there with your night vision goggles and your camo paint at night and see what's going on. But I would almost guess almost 100% that that's a raccoon.
Well, maybe that is. I don't know. We have digger squirrels, but I don't know if they would do that.
Yeah, less likely that it's that, more likely it's a raccoon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do you have a recipe for raccoon?
Well, no, but maybe I can find one somewhere.
I bet you could. All right, Ron. Good to hear your voice. Thanks for calling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
See you later.
Raccoon,
all right. Good stuff.
Raccoon rib.
Oh, raccoon. I know. Raccoon stew.
Rack of raccoon.
Yeah, there you go. Rack of raccoon. Ronnie, hi. What's going on?
Hey, I was just wondering if there's anything that you can add to the soil to make your fruit trees produce better, and when they should be producing. Obviously with peach trees and things, they're probably towards the end of summer, right?
Yeah, the fruit trees, once they start producing, once they bloom and they're pollinated and they get going, from that point there's nothing you can do because it's all done. And so after harvest is the time to think for those. And a good fertilizer like the Fertilome tree and shrub food around them after harvest is fantastic. And that will help them to build and produce more, how would I say it, more growth for spring. It'll be dormant, but you won't see that happening. All that cell division takes place inside the buds from that late summer point up to fall. And so that's when you really want to get them going. So after harvest, feed them, and you should be in great shape.
Fantastic. Thank you.
All righty.
Okay. All right. Again, 7765770, and we've got a few minutes left. All right. So this weekend, you got any recommendations?
Recommendations for planting this weekend?
Well, yeah. What should we put in the ground? How about vegetables? What are we doing?
Yeah, this is the big time for veggies, and so everybody's putting in their veggie gardens usually between now and Memorial Day. So veggie seeds, veggie starts. We've got tons of great veggie starts out there right now. Tomatoes. The tomatillo tomato We've got some fantastic ones of those. That's the one that it grows small like a cherry tomato or a grape tomato, and you can just pick it off the vine, sit them out in the sun, and they'll dry like a raisin. And they're very sweet and fantastic dried. So we still have some of those available. A lot of people are still putting in their pots and stuff. We've got great container pot plants, so we can put those, help you put those together as well. So,
okay. All right, Jan, you got trouble growing your peas? What's going on?
Yeah, so I live on an organic farm, and we planted a long row of peas, put up a trellis, and they're just not doing well. They're getting eaten, and I think that we solved that. I think there's a lot of little roly-polies in the garden. And then I put more peas in where the peas had died, and they look better, but they're yellow in color, the plants. Mm-hmm. They're not healthy, they're not growing, and we just can't figure it out.
Okay. Well, first of all, are you feeding? Are you fertilizing?
I think they did.
Okay.
Putting some different elements and stuff after it wasn't growing, and it's got a lot of compost. Mm-hmm. I'm wondering if it has too much compost.
Well, too much compost isn't going to cause a problem, but that compost may not be producing viable, or I should say viable. It's not producing nitrogen enough, perhaps, for your plants to get started. So a little organic fertilizer mixed in, sprinkled over the top and watered in, that might help. The other thing that causes peas and other plants to be yellowish in color like that is if they are overwatered. So be careful that you're not overdoing the watering in there. Keep them moist, but don't let them get soggy wet. And that could help as well.
Okay. They're thinking that might be the problem too, so they cut down on watering.
Yeah. Watch that and see how that goes. As far as the little critters eating them goes, a good dusting with diatomaceous earth will help to keep the bugs off of them, and the roly-polies, etc. And that's all natural. So.
Okay.
Right. Like earthworms, that's why we don't use it.
Yeah.
But I think that they did put some out.
Okay.
And then the deer came in and demolished all of the chard.
Yeah.
Wow. Got to go, Jan. Thank you. Okay, let me see if I can squeeze in one more before we have to end the show. Mary, what's going on?
I'm noticing some oozing around a lot of the plants that I've planted, like on the leaves and things. And I was looking at it, and I saw a little worm or something like that. And a friend said to just take some alcohol or some hydrogen peroxide to the leaves, and I'm just wanting to check that out with you before I do it.
Yeah, you don't want to use it straight. Use small amounts of it, but maybe a couple of tablespoons of alcohol with a little bit of water, and maybe just a drop or two of dish soap to help it all mix together, and then you can wipe those leaves down. But in most cases, that kind of a thing isn't a bad thing. So unless it's causing problems, I would just leave it.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mary. All right, somebody's going to win this beautiful calla lily.
All right.
And it is hot pink. Boy, is it ever. And
okay,
pick a name out.
Here we go.
Who's going to win that today?
This person right here.
Okay, and that person
that person is Melody.
Melody, all right.
Yes.
Melody, congratulations. We'll be in contact with you. And you can pick that up out at Four Seasons. They're open from 9 to 6. I got to get that on my camera view. 9 to 6, and then 9 to 5 on Sunday. And they got more calla lilies, got rose, they got everything up there.
Oh, goodness, yeah. It's absolutely beautiful out there right now. Tons of stuff in bloom.
And you do have some of the 12-inch hanging baskets left.
Yes, we do.
Now, even the 12-inch, folks, are huge. You think, well, 12-inch. No, wait till you see it, because they cascade down like that. And so kind of first come, first serve on those. Well, thanks, buddy.
All right.
And enjoy your gardening this weekend. And remember, the middle number means what?
Phosphorus.
The last number means what?
Potassium.
And the first number means what?
Nitrogen.
Ding, ding, ding. You get here. You win a calla lily.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll see you next time on Focus Today.
Hi, I'm Jim and I work at the Dove TV. Every weekday between 6 and 8 a.m., our award-winning news and sports team bring you the best morning show around. It's live, it's honest, and it's a whole lot of fun. And you help make it happen. Did you know that more than 90% of our income comes from people like you? You can help us continue to air local programs that share your voice by making a secure online donation at our website, thedove.us.